Hi there, Save with Crypto here on Monday, the 26th of February 2024. Now, this morning I was approached by Andy from Burnify.App, and he wanted to have a little chat about what Burnify is all about and just give me an idea, because I've looked at it before and it's confused me quite a lot, and consequently I've not got involved. There's a guy in the community called Rudiger, and he's been very actively trying to get me involved with these people. So today there was an introduction with me and Andy, and this is the meeting we had, and I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, we can go over it. I'll present everything you need to know, and you'll figure it out afterwards. Basically, we wanted to start Burnify with the idea of burning tokens, because on MultiversX weren't such things so far, and we started the idea actually as a underlying foundation. It was that it was that narrative, every project had to have millions of tokens and whatnot. Yeah. And obviously that can hurt tokens on the long run, and we thought, okay, let's see how the burning works for projects and how we can make it actually happen for projects. So we built Burnify in such a way that it does gamify the burning process, and it also involves the community, not just the projects, because usually the burning happened in the past just from the treasury or whatnot, and that's a small percentage of tokens. And obviously projects don't have access to tokens from users' wallets, or the incentivizing, it wasn't incentivized enough. What do you want to do with burning is, okay, you want to help a project, and basically that's it. And we came on top of this idea, and we just started Burnify with the idea of gamifying this process. And Burnify is just positioned between the projects and their users, basically. And I'll share my screen to go over our app and show you everything about it.
Okay.
Can you hear my screen?
Yeah.
See my screen?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, cool. Beside the landing page that you already can see everything, and I think you had the chance of going over it.
Yeah.
The magic happens in the burn tab. Basically, let's go with whatever token. Let's go with Max. Burning happens in batches, and there is a batch being the smallest amount that can be burned. We paired the batch to 0.015 EGLD, this amount, and this is also paired with the second token that you want to burn. This is taking the prices and converting 0.015 EGLD in the second token, whatever token you want to burn. And as you can see down, what's happening is that you are putting the 0.015 EGLD as a protocol, as a collateral for inside Burnify, and this particular amount of max, or the token of your choosing, is going to be burned at the end of the cycle. Burnify is paired with the MultiversX epoch, and it's in 24-hour cycles, basically.
Okay. So, I'd really like to explain this really, really simply to my viewers. So, just going back a few minutes. So, the total amount of, let's say, MEX is like 8 trillion or whatever.
Okay.
So in exactly how is this benefiting, well, the MultiversX ecosystem, and also how is that benefiting the person doing the burning?
Well, in the first place, I have to mention that there are two types of burning in the crypto world. There's let's call it virtual. Both are virtual because they're happening on a blockchain. But the first is virtual with quotations. You are sending tokens to a dead wallet. There is a dead wallet on MultiversX as well, and you just send the tokens there, and nobody can access that wallet. I made a live presentation once and I gave this example. Let's say the virtual burning is like you putting $1 million in a submarine and you just throw that submarine into the depths of the Mariana Trench, for instance, and they're virtually inaccessible. They still exist as currency and as a circulating supply of dollars, but they don't. Nobody can access those tokens, and this is the first type of token burning on crypto as well, because you can send them to the dead wallet, but they will not show into the total supply or the max supply of a token. The second one is a technical aspect type of burning on blockchain. There are tokens that can actually just have a burn. There is this technical aspect of burning in which a token has a function for that. And if we go to the Explorer for MultiversX, let's go with Max, for instance, and we can see the token can burn here in their roles. And we have the role for local burn as well for Max since a while ago. And basically, this is going to help the token itself by diminishing the supply, the circulating supply and everything, because they will not be showing anymore the tokens that are getting burned with the burn role. And that's how you can, to a certain extent, and obviously to various degrees, you can combat inflation, tokens inflation, by burning the tokens.
Okay. Okay.
For your second part, this is a bit of a longer talk, and I'll have to go a bit more in depth into Burnify. And I'll go on to the stats page because this is where the magic happens, and it's the easiest way to explain how Burnify works. If you remember from the first part, you put an amount of EGLD as a collateral and whatever token you're wanting to burn here. If we go to the stats, we'll see the following information: the current cycle and how much time there is left in this cycle, which is obviously that's just administrative things. After that, the current amount of BFY minted in this cycle, which is our token, and that's another way of that's the best way of creating value for users, because we, as I mentioned earlier, we wanted to incentivize users also to burn, not just projects, and we are trying to put ourselves between the two entities and doing it as follow. When you put the EGLD as a collateral for burning, this goes all into a reward pool. This number here, accrued EGLD this cycle, means that for this cycle particularly, that will end in 5 hours and some minutes, those 50 EGLD will be distributed to everybody that has BFY at staking. Because think of Burnify as simple as this: you're burning a token. For burning, you're getting BFY, our token. The token itself will get into staking. It will be automatically staked in our app, and you can withdraw it immediately with no pressure. And I hope that makes sense, because we wanted to make the project as fair as possible, and this is why we wanted to do this. And because you have BFY in staking in Burnify, you'll get rewards each day in EGLD from the protocol fees that are the protocol fees that are be put as a collateral by every user. So let's say, for instance, this cycle, there are 3,334 batches right in this particular moment. And let's say the cycle will end right now. What will happen is that those 6,000 and something BFY will be distributed equally to those batches. If I did, let's say 10% of the total batches, I'm going to get 10% of the BFY minted this cycle. Afterwards, at the cycle end, it will get automatically staked in this number. This is our current staked amount of BFY from the total 1 million, 1.7 million or something like that, because obviously we let users burn BFY as well. And for this, after the cycle ends and you get the BFY staked inside Burnify, you'll get EGLD rewards each subsequent day. meaning that if I'm going to the rewards tab, and let's say here in the rewards tab, I'll have 10,000 BFY, it will just give me a percentage of a reward power. You can see in the stats page, there is your reward power. This is a number that represents how much EGLD you will get from the EGLD rewards pool each day. But this is going to obviously go down because each day more BFY will be minted. And we like to call Burnify and our token BFY is a proof of burn mechanism and a token, because each BFY was minted and distributed only through burning. So no BFY were in circulation from the start without somebody burning a token. And it was by this chance also I want to mention that Burnify was a fair launch. We had no tokens allocated for the team, marketing, everything like that. We as a team, projects team, we also had to burn batches to get BFY for ourselves or for the team, and we put our BFY in the first cycles to as a liquidity and everything like that. So that's a little bit of a mentioning. So recalling, or let's say I'm trying to make an underlying of everything I've said so far. You come and put some EGLD and another token. The token itself gets burned. Because you did this at the end of each cycle on Burnify, you get BFY. BFY gets automatically staked. And for the set BFY that's staked in Burnify, you will get EGLD rewards from the reward pool. That's the, let's call it a short version of Burnify.
Okay. So I suppose the best way I'm going to get this, I'm going to really understand this, is by trying it out. So for somebody like me who, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, for example, how would I start?
There is two ways, basically, because there is this thing, you want to go to the burn tab and you want to see if you have another token, whatever you're trying to burn. Let's go with Max. Okay. If you're having Max in your wallet and EGLD for this set batch, you can just test it in the first day. You can just test and burn one batch to see what happens and how the protocol works. Okay. You'll see that you'll have to put this amount of EGLD and this amount of Max. You'll sign the transaction and that's all. At the end of the cycle, when this number goes to zero, you'll be able, after 10 minutes, because the epoch changes have to call APIs from MultiversX and make the calculations and distribution and everything like that, and it takes some time. You'll go into the rewards tab and you'll see that you already have BFY in staking. And in the same time, you'll receive the BFY and it's going to also give you some EGLD rewards here. And you'll be able, after the first burn in the first cycle, you'll just be able to see how much BFY you got from your burning, how much EGLD you got from that. And it's going to be probably a small amount because it's just a batch. If we go to the stats, you can actually calculate that, roughly speaking, because obviously people are constantly burning. And for instance, one batch now from 3,000, it's a small amount. If you were to burn one batch and it will be only 100 batches, you're gonna get 1% of this amount. So you can roughly calculate how many batches you want to burn in regards to how much BFY you want to earn, roughly speaking, obviously, because people can actually go and burn more than you expected, let's say.
Okay. So how are Burnify making money out of this?
Well, we as a project.
Yeah.
When you put the rewards here in the reward pool, we initially started with 90% of the EGLD goes to the Burnify stakers, to the BFY staked inside the app, and 10% was for the team. That was the initial idea, but we changed that further down the line because we wanted to also give back more to the community, and we came up with an NFT collection it's another story and it's a longer story. we launched an NFT collection on Soxno. We minted the NFT collection on Soxno, and we just went with giving away 50% of what we would have gotten to those that have the NFTs at staking also. So currently, from the EGLD pool each day, 90% goes, or the 90% stays the same, goes to the people that have BFY at staking. 5% goes to the Bufu stakers. Our collection is called Bufu. And 5% is for the team project and, I mean, our treasury, let's call it. But most of it were made for legal reasons. We used the money so far for legal reasons. Also put a lot of those proceedings went into the liquidity, because there was this moment that we had the low liquidity levels because we had no tokens to be put there. That's why it's a fair launch, and people had an issue at first and thought, okay, but the liquidity on whether it is one DEX and whatever DEX you want, X launcher and everything, and not X launcher, X exchange, the liquidity was low, but people eventually got caught up with the idea of, okay, it was a fair launch after all, and whenever we had the chance, we are putting more and more into the liquidity, because this is what we wanted to or how do we wanted to approach the project and its proceedings, and going with the flow of how people are using the application and what we want to also give back to the community.
Okay. Now, Rudiger sent me a link to the Telegram group, but which I joined, and it says I'm not allowed to post there. Is that is that for any particular reason, or?
I have no idea, because we already have a bot there, the Rose bot that has to. But I'll check.
Okay, fair enough. Because I'm guessing that's probably the first place to go to, talk to people and get an idea of strategies together. Is that a good place? Yeah.
Okay. Exactly. I have to mention, and I do have to, let me see, because, nobody muted everything for you, but
okay.
you wouldn't be able to. I just changed your role on this group.
Thank you very much. Okay.
No problem. We do have and I want to make this mentioning, we do have a strong community around us, and I fucking love everybody because they are always on. I mean, always in the usual hours, and we also have users all around the globe, and they are eager to help everybody. And there is a moment that we already had reached so far, that we obviously, as a team member, I'm trying to always be there with our community, my colleagues as well, to answer every question, whether it is how is this working, or whether it is something is not working, maybe you will look into it. Mm-hmm. There were problems for the APIs and everything like that, and we are there as much as we can. But we reached a point in which our community of old OG members, let's call it, is so dedicated that most of the questions are already answered while I do something, and I'm in a meeting and I have to check my phone. When I'm checking my phone and the Telegram group, most of the questions are already answered, and that's overwhelmingly nice for me from my point of view, because the community was always there. And obviously they can also, and they are helping with the strategy. They are explaining, okay, for instance, there is a moment, as our community said on our Telegram group a lot of the times, compared to the price of BFY right now, there is a threshold in which it's better to burn than to buy on the market. And you have to, obviously, you have to calculate that number on yourself, but there are users that help you with that, because they're having Excel spreadsheets and everything with calculations, and they just pull out the numbers, and they also can help you with how much rewards for. And this was another initiative from the community. We're having a post once every set days. We're giving, and we put this as a marketing initiative from ourselves. We put 2,000 BFY into one specific wallet. And we're just constantly checking the rewards to just let users know, okay, this 2,000 BFY made in the last 5 days or 10 days or something like that, this amount of EGLD. Because from a legal standpoint, and this is a question that everybody has, and I would love to answer it from the get-go. Many users come from the start and ask us, what's the APR? And we can't legally put an APR because it varies. You can't put an APR because you're having, let's say, the 2,000 BFY that I've said. Mm-hmm. It depends very much on how much people are burning and how many people are having BFY at stake. And from a math point of view, you can't calculate that as just a number because it varies depending on the market not the market conditions, our ecosystem. People can withdraw their BFI from the staking, and obviously your 2,000 BFI will generate more rewards. If this cycle, instead of 3,000 batches, it's gonna be 15,000 batches, for instance. It's going to be way more rewards in that particular cycle. And it varies with a lot of numbers, and you can put a specific APR to this. But it's you can do the math behind it, and you can find the number, for instance, for a certain period of time. And people and our community or our OG communities are already tracking that very much, and they're eager to help you with numbers like that. And it's a question that has an answer, but it depends on each moment you ask that number.
Yeah, I did look at some of the figures that people were talking about, and I mean, realistically, it always seems to be in double-figure percentage APRs. Is that realistic? You don't
Triple.
have to say. Sorry.
Triple figures.
Okay, triple figures.
Again, legally, I can't say a number because I really couldn't say, and I haven't calculated me as a team member. But I've seen the messages on the Telegram group, and they were calling the triple figures APRs percentages and all that. I did made some calculations, and they were right, but this was several months ago for a period of time of 2 weeks or something like that. I just had that wallet. I calculated the rewards, and I wanted to actually do the math behind. And they are willing to help you with not only just giving you the number, but also showing you. And there are a lot of people, even currently, that are doing this thing that they just show the entire rewards tab. This is what I got today from Burnify, and I have this much BFY. And you obviously can put a number to that and a percentage of an APR.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I was actually trying to tone it down slightly and just say double figures when I actually knew I'd seen triple figure type thing. So, yeah, okay, that's going to be very, very interesting for a lot of people. So I guess if I just kind of do my best showing what it can do with my videos, and hopefully we'll get more people interested in Burnify, and that'll all be good. Do you have any plans for the future for new things, new features?
Yes, we do, and we have a lot of plans. I'll rapidly show you the light paper because this is where we obviously have a roadmap, and we did another roadmap on the website. This is the short version of the roadmap let's call it a short version, and that's it. You're seeing just what happened, what's going to happen.
Okay.
But we do have another roadmap on the page, on the website, and it's an entire story that we want to create around Burnify. And as you can see, there is a big planet. Our first incentive, beside smaller features, I would love to call them smaller features, but they're, from my part and from my point of view and our point of view as a team, they're quite the big features. And I mentioned two of them being B-Fuel and NFT burning. The NFT burning part is as easy as it sounds. It's just that we want to integrate NFT burnings into Burnify as well. And the second part, BFuel, it's, let's say, an incentive to also raise the liquidity, but also reward our users, in which shortly you'll get rewarded for staking BFY LP in our app. That's the baseline of it.
Okay. Wow.
And this is the smaller. I'd love to mention that those were the smaller features, but they're pretty big for what they're gonna do for the whole ecosystem and also for the MultiversX itself, because we're talking about NFT burning, and there are a lot of leeway to go that and do a lot of things with the NFT burning as well. But those were the smaller parts because, and I'll probably send you this so you can check it up for yourself and maybe talk it through. This is a story about our BUFUs, how they work and everything like that. And if we scroll down and go further, this is what we're talking about right now. And as you can see, and I mentioned the planet, we are going to make some Burnify satellites. This is what we are calling them right now. Us as a team, we want to create for the future at least multiple projects. Right now we are working at the project, and we are closer and closer to having a DevNet version on it. The idea behind of it is smaller in terms of reach. Is very subjective. I mean, you can talk about it in many ways, but it's a way simpler project, but it can reach a lot of new people. And the idea for this was to gather lots more community. And we also want to go with the with Burnify multi-chain eventually, because that's obviously it's written here because we have a reasoning to do that. We do want to launch Burnify and venture with Burnify and multi-chains, because this is from our point of view, a natural step to keep Burnify on MultiversX and keep it growing and going forward and everything like that, but also make a good thing to get exposure from other chains for us, for Burnify, for MultiversX as well, but also give our tool to other projects from other chains, because they could also benefit from a tool like this as well. So it's a win-win situation from our part to go also on other chains in the medium. I'm gonna say medium to long distance, but we'll see how it plays out, because we also started there to see how it goes, to start on the development, to see what problems we are facing and what we want to get out of the way at first, and afterwards to actually start implementing everything and see if we have some difficulties, to see what the solution for that would be.
Okay. So cool. Does Burnify work from a central office, or do you all work at home or remotely?
No, we are remotely full, and we love this approach because we're our core team, and I'll want to talk about this in let's call it a history presentation of Burnify. We are currently EGLD team, the core team that came up with the idea, and we also partnered with Buildly. They are doing the smart contracts part because they are having the most experience in that area. So we needed a strong partner for this. We're both part of the core team of Burnify overall. And everybody is remote because it's the faster approach for development, in which we function best. Yeah. I know in the corporate world, this is an ongoing talk and an ongoing situation between managers and employees. But how we found it works best for us is just everybody is dedicated to the project. as much as we have time and we want to. And we did want it from the start. Okay, let's do it and let's make it happen as fast as possible. And our communication works very extremely easily on Telegram and WhatsApp, on everything like that. And we just plan ahead. We also, obviously, we'll from time to time, 2 or 3 weeks, we'll go out and sit at the table, drink a coffee together and talk about what we are trying to do and what we want to plan ahead. Mm-hmm. But other than that, the communication is fast. We need to do this. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
If you don't have information, you ask. If you need something from another team member, you ask. And everybody is full on. We have to deliver. The community is here, and we want to let them know every time we are doing something, we're communicating with them as well. And other than that, and also asking for feedback, a lot of feedback from the community.
Yeah.
And that's the best approach from our point of view to how we are working internally.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think that's one of the best things that came out of COVID. Really was, everyone realised I don't need this big expensive office, or you don't have to be in the middle of Bucharest or London or whatever. Talking of which, you're in. How do you pronounce it? Cluj-Napoca.
Cluj-Napoca, yes.
Cluj-Napoca, deep in Transylvania. Do you?
In the heart of it.
yeah. No, it's. I've got to come over sometime and have an explore around Romania, because I worked on and off with a lot of Romanians, and not in Romania, but more in like Austria and other countries. And I've always liked the idea of Romania, and I've always. I don't know. It was part of the appeal of the whole Elrond, MultiversX, all that kind of stuff. Was this kind of weird company based in Sibiu. So do you ever pop down there and have a little word with Benjamin and the guys, or not?
What do you mean? Can you repeat, please?
Sorry. Do you ever meet up with Benjamin and the people from MultiversX in Sibiu, or not?
We weren't able to reach Sibiu when the last meeting, the MultiversX meeting was, but they did one in Cluj-Napoca some months ago, and we were present there. We were present, obviously, at X Day, because everybody should be there from our point of view. Actually, it's not a spoiler because we announced it on Telegram and Twitter. We are going to be present at Crypto Expo Europe on the 3 to 4 March in Bucharest, because our team member, one of my colleagues, Yuga Bogdan, is going to have a panel appearance. And we are trying to be present whenever we can physically, because that was the issue in the Sibiu part. We couldn't be because we weren't... we were caught up with personal things, or one of us was with that and this. But other than that, whenever the opportunity presents itself to be present at an event in this space, we will be there for sure.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I think that answers most of my questions. I will put this out as a video and let people watch it over and over again to get an idea of everything you've said. Sorry?
I'll have to make 2 mentions. One, if you do venture in Romania, and it's not necessary to happen in Cluj, but do hit me up. I'll be gladly eager to drink a beer or a coffee or your drink of your choice. And for every other user, if you have 5 more minutes, I would love to present some of the features of Burnify that I haven't gotten into in depth.
Absolutely.
Just to make a full assumption on everything that works.
Sure.
Shortly, there is another tool that came from the community as well. It's called Swap and Burn, because maybe you want to burn some tokens, you want to help the project, but you don't have the tokens. And we did this thing that's called Swap and Burn, in which you just put the EGLD part, and part of it will go as usual as in the burning process as a protocol collateral in the reward pool, and some of it will be actually converted into your your token of choosing, and it's going to be burned at the end of the cycle. That's the, let's call it middle ground, because lots of people from our community talk to us, and they like they asked for this particular scenario in which they would love to burn, but they just have it GLD, and it is just a faster approach of burning, because you can go on X Exchange, Wandex, Jex, or whatever you want, and swap some of your eGLD in another token. But this is just to make the process faster for people. And another initiative was for projects this time, not for users. As I said from the get-go, we wanted to be a tool for projects and a helping hand for projects to incentivize the burning. And what happened from one of our projects that you can actually currently burn here, X Launcher, they gave us an idea of having a discount for users. And if we go to this star in the app, we'll have two tabs, and I'll talk for each of them separately. The discount is an initiative in which a project can also put their treasury that's to be burned inside Burnify with a discount for users. And what happens from our point of view, and as it's seen in the screen, it's a win-win situation, because if projects want to burn and combat inflation, and for any other reasons they would love to do that, we are giving them a tool to put a buffer of their token in which tokens stay, and they're going to be locked there, and just the project's address can access them. We don't have access to that. But when you do this as a project and set up a discount, the buffer will be burned by people, and they'll have to also put an extra token amount of tokens. And for instance, let's go with Jex. Jex Change was a partner from the start, and Javier helped us with a lot of feedback, and we talked about a lot of details with them. And let's go with Jex as a good example right now. If we go to the burn tab and you'll select Jex from the Inferno part, Jex will have something like this. One batch of Jex is going to be the usual 0.015 GLD and 225 point something Jex. The Jex token is currently discounted with a 70% discount, which means that the user, as a end user of Burnify, a member of our community, can put only 67 Jex, and the difference from this number to this number will be taken from Jex's discount buffer on Burnify. And this is why it's a win-win, because the project itself burns, but it burns more than it has access to, because the users have to put some tokens extra. But also for the users and our community, it works best because they don't have to put so much tokens. Instead of this, they're gonna have to put only 30% of the tokens to have one batch. And obviously this works for every number. If we go to 100 batches for Jex, you're gonna see the total amount of Jex that's required to do those 100 batches, and how much you have to put as a user, and that's all. Does it make sense for you from the get-go? Do you have any questions about this?
So the tokens we're talking here, this is like all the ESDT tokens mainly, is it? Or
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can see in the burn page from this drop down, you can see all the tokens that you are able to burn right now. Okay. 23 tokens or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So, I mean, for example, every Thursday I do my meta bonding claim over on X Exchange, and I've got a bunch. I've got a bunch of tokens like some BAT and some Isengard and stuff that hasn't really done anything for 2 years. So that might be something to play with straight away, isn't it?
Yes, and if you don't have the tokens, or if you don't, you're not able to burn some of them, you can just change them to one of the tokens or EGLD and do a swap and burn afterwards. So there are multiple ways to do that for tokens that you don't use. There is XDust converter if you want to convert everything at once and then just go with the swap and burn approach.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. So the whole like burning a batch, does that take a certain amount of time, or is it ongoing, or?
What do you mean burning a batch?
Well,
I mean, as a burn, it's simple. You just go here, you have the tokens available here and here, you click burn, and it's a usual transaction on MultiversX. It's not something particularly timely.
Right.
Just the rewards takes a while to go because we can't, because obviously this number of batches of people burning changes over time in the 24-hour span. We can't distribute them only after the cycle ends. So basically, that's there is a moment in which the APIs are doing all the calculations and distribution, and that's when you can't burn, but it's like 5 to 10 minutes exactly at, say, 6 p.m. Romanian time. I think it's 4 p.m. UTC. But you also can have the look at the Explorer, and you can see here, obviously, how much time there is in an epoch. This one.
Gotcha. Okay.
One more feature. I have one more feature because there was this. The second tab was boosted. This was another marketing initiative for projects. They can actually put extra rewards just for their burners. For instance, JEX Exchange's token is currently boosted with 1 EGLD. And what will happen at the end of the cycle, you'll see that beside being JEX, the top burned project this cycle, those people that burned JEX this cycle will split also the 1 EGLD put up by the project itself. So this one EGLD will be going to all the batches of JEX burned this cycle in Burnify.
Okay.
It's just a marketing initiative from projects to make their, maybe it's a marketing initiative from them to try to burn this particular area of time. I don't know, 2 weeks or something. Like they want to make a marketing campaign about burning. They can just do the discount part. They can incentivize users also with extra rewards or everything like that. And this is just another tool that we thought would be useful for projects while trying to burn more tokens or whatever their goal would be with that. It's just there to be used.
Okay. Great. Okay. So how would you describe the average Burnify user? Is it like someone who's obsessed with fintech or Web3 or just someone who wants to make money, or I don't know. What?
This is a funny question because being in the community so much, I really love how the community grew with us and we grew with it, because our approach from the start was to do our best and also listen to people, because obviously you don't know everything, and we tried to get as much feedback as possible. And this community grew with us a lot, and I don't think I can say one specific thing about the community itself, but what I'm feeling about our community overall, that they are open-minded people and smart, because you do have to make your math behind it. How much do you want to burn, in which cycle? You have to make your strategy. And most people that I'm talking to from the community, both on our Telegram group and in DMs, people are reaching out. And this is why I love the community. People are reaching out not only with problems or, I have an idea. It's just, hey, Andy, how are you? And how's the team going? Are you guys good? Everything like that. That's why I said I have to love them. But they are, beside open-minded, because I think this is a common knowledge in crypto. You have to be open-minded to do your KY, do your due diligence and everything like that. they're also smart and people that want to understand more. And it happens, okay, you don't understand one thing, but they are actually putting smart questions at hand. They just don't throw random stuff. Oh, how much is a badge worth? This is the badge. You can see here. Yeah, there is instances, but people don't know how it works, and you have to show them and answer to newer users, of course. But other than that, you'll eventually have to just go with people that are smart, people that want to do a lot, want to understand, and I wouldn't categorize them in they're just for DeFi or NFTs or this and that. They're just normal users from a lot of communities, from a lot of projects that came our way because they wanted to help the projects. Random people that actually just heard of us from MultiversX, and that's all. They weren't necessarily fond of one project or the other. I think there is, I'm sure there are people also that want to make money, but they understand how Burnify works, and it's not something that you do to have a token pump, and that's all.
Yeah.
Burnify is a long play, and you have to play it strategically, because that's why we approached it with the gamified approach. We wanted to let users make their strategy and have their way as much as they want, and we can't and we won't stop anybody by doing their strategy. And there are also projects around Burnify that are starting then, and they're trying to do more value to on top of Burnify. And people are obviously from different one important thing here. They are from different backgrounds, but they are extremely eager to help. I couldn't say, as I mentioned, and I'm going to mention to them every time I can, that I love them. We got a lot of feedback beside the usual, there is a bug in this area of the website, or this number bugged out when I did this. There is a lot of eagerness to help, a lot of talks in the community about, have you thought about this, team? Do you think this would be helpful? I want to help with this. People that wanted to actually just put up prices for some of our marketing initiatives, from raffles. We have a leaderboard here where you can see where you are situated in the BFY staking. Eagerness to help the project to grow, because as I mentioned, I think there are going to be people, like in every project, that want to make money, but they see the value of Burnify overall, and in the long run, not just rush it and that's it.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so on Thursday, I'm going to a meeting to do with fintech and the future of Web3, that kind of thing. If anybody asks me what I'm up to, and I say I'm going to get involved with Burnify, and they say, what is it? What can I tell them in one sentence if they haven't a clue what even MultiversX is, Maybe
so
two.
Basically an elevator pitch.
Well, maybe 3 sentences.
Basically, you can say how I presented it from the get-go. Mm-hmm. It's an incentivized mechanic of burning tokens. It's a gamified approach of making projects and users both to work together to let's call it a joint approach and a joint purpose. From the start, this is the foundation of Burnify.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. That's a good way to end it, I think. Anything else you'd like to say?
Not anything particularly. Thank you for your time, obviously, because I took a bit of your time, and I'm very grateful for this.
No.
I hope you're going to have a great time with your community about this call. I'm curious of how things will play out.
Okay.
And obviously, both our Telegram, or if people don't want to enter another group for the start, they can reach out to me, Twitter, or my colleagues on Twitter, on Burnify itself. Wherever you want to contact us, we're here to answer all the questions that may be available, and they may be raised by this video, and we'll approach everything if people have questions. By any chance, if you have difficulties in answering, or please do tag us on Burnify, on
Sure.
me, my colleagues, everybody. We're here to help and answer everything.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Andy. Thanks for your time. It's been really helpful, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into Burnify.
I'm curious of your strategies from now on. I'll ping you from time to time to see how you're going.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and speak soon.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Right. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? That was brilliant. Okay, that was Andy Puscas from Burnify. If you've got any questions, leave them down below, and I can make sure that Andy sees them, or you can approach Andy firsthand. So I need to get stuck into this and have a look at it. But I think what I'm going to do is watch this video, a few times just to make sure I understand it correctly. But yeah, it does seem that people are making quite a bit of money with Burnify. And it works in a different way to what I thought it did. I didn't have a clue, to be honest, and now I have slightly more of a clue. But I'm going to watch this video over and over again, and I suggest that you do too. And I will be trying this sometime this week, probably before Thursday. So if you're interested in that, please give the video a like, leave a nice comment. While you're down there, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you've got the notifications set on all, and above all, tell your friends.